Hello everyone. As you know that it has been a while since we made a video, and of course we've been busy with other stuff, but now we're ready to do like 3 videos today. Again, as you know that we did a video about Islam religion and proving that Islam is the real religion. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean the other religions are no good. All God religions, all the three religions, Islam and Judaism and Christianity, they're all good religions, but they're different. So with that, we're going today to prove that Islam is the real God and real good religion. And I'm going to let my grandson Tristan to explain that to you. With that, I'll go ahead and turn it to Tristan. Go ahead, Tristan.
All right, thank you. So as my grandfather just said, today we're doing a follow-up on the last video that I did talking about some evidence of Islam, and we're going to be doing another part of that because it did pretty well, so I'm going to capitalize on it, try and do it as much as I can. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the specific Quranic verse that we're going to be talking about today that provides some more evidence of Islam is At-Dariyat 51:49. So that's the specific part that we're going to be talking about. And what that ayah says in particular is, quote, "and of everything we have created pairs, that you may remember and hopefully ponder." So basically what this verse, what this part of the Quran is claiming, is that every object was created or is composed of a pair. And today we're going to be proving that by using some Hegel. So yeah. So in the first parts of the Phenomenology of Spirit, Hegel did a critique or a criticism of the belief that's called sense certainty. So basically sense certainty in philosophy is the belief that the objects that you perceive, the objects that you experience are no different than how the objects actually are in real reality. So basically, you perceive an object, and that's how that object actually is in real, actual reality. So Hegel did a little criticism of sense certainty to kind of disprove that view, and that's what we're going to be using today to prove that this verse is correct. So basically, Hegel's criticism of sense certainty goes like this. Basically, Hegel says that when we perceive an object, we perceive both the thing and the not thing. And basically what Hegel meant by this is that when we perceive an object, we perceive the actual object in of itself. So let's say, for example, I got a book here, and I'm looking at it, and I can say, okay, I'm looking at this book, and I perceive the actual, determinate object of the book. But when I'm perceiving the actual determinate object of the book, I must also perceive or kind of conjure up or conceive of the exact opposite of the object that I'm looking at or trying to experience or perceive. And that's because when I'm perceiving this object, I'm trying to make it into its own determinate singular object. So if I just perceive the thing, then, I wouldn't have an understanding of anything that really wasn't the book, right? So when I perceived objects, it would all just be that book. All objects would just kind of be meshing together. There would be no determinate singular objects if I didn't have a conception or an idea of the opposite of this book. So when I perceive the book, I'm perceiving the book, the actual object, but I'm also perceiving what the opposite of the book or the opposites of how the book appears to me. And basically this makes it so I can perceive a singular determinate object that I call the book. So basically, in order for a proper object to appear to us, it needs to be composed of a pair, specifically a pair of the thing and the not thing, or the object and the exact opposite of the object. So these two properties, this pair, basically that's what composes objects that we perceive and objects that we experience. So you can see here that if an object was not composed of a pair, specifically a pair of opposites, a unity of opposites, then we wouldn't be able to experience the object. We wouldn't be able to perceive the object. So you can kind of see here that the ayah that I just read out is being proven right by Hegel, because if all objects that we experience weren't created or composed of a pair, then we wouldn't be able to experience or perceive the object at all. So yeah, that would basically wrap up the subject, wrap up the video as a whole. Thank you for watching.
And for you, the ones that have no idea about Hegel, he was a German philosopher from the 1700 or late 1700, early 1800, and he was one of the genius philosophers. So with that, I'll say ma'a salama. Alhamdulillah.